Hi, this is Lisa from putthegluedown.blogspot.com. This is my first YouTube video ever, so there's going to be a ton of mistakes, so please excuse them. This is my trial and error run. This video is going to be for a handmade captured fairy jar. It's for a 101 swap at Life on the Scrap Beach, and this little jar is going to be well on her way to Ireland before I even post this video. Starting off, I was wanting to do this video in my house where I could show you more of the lights. It is a night light, but it was a little too dark in my house and you couldn't see inside the jar when I reviewed that video. So I left the lights on right now so you can get a little idea, but she's very beautiful in the dark. But for now, I'll just turn them off. This way I can show you a little bit about her. On the top of the jar is a giant Prima flower. It came out of little paint cans. I don't know if they even have those anymore. They might though. And on top of this, I put in a jeweled flower with lots of crystal little beads and dangles and hearts. Because she is a mischievous little fairy. She totally destroyed my crafting table while I was trying to make her. It's a mess. It still is a mess, so it's probably a good idea that I've made it outside. On the side, I've put some tags. This little tag explains about the fairy, about her life. Her name is Elaine. I looked up some words because I know no Irish whatsoever. And Elaine apparently means beautiful in Irish. At least it does on the computer and on the internet. So if that's not right, we'll just call her Elaine. Forget. This little tag explains her life, where she was at her home having fun in the wind and in the rain and flying and having fun, and got swept away by a really strong current. Ended up out here in the deserts of Idaho. Not a good place for a little forest fairy. So it's a good thing she's going back home to Ireland. Also explains that she was very instrumental in helping to make Cinderella's slippers. So I put a little plastic, little high slipper here, and with a filigree butterfly on it. It also has a dangle charm. And I'll tell you, this dangle charm was a set of dangle charms almost exactly identical that I made for another swap, for a swap group called Create, Share, and Inspire. It was for the Midsummer Fairy Swap dangle, and I thought they were gorgeous. I knew I was going to be making this fairy jar, so I made an extra one so I could put it on there for this one. Loved it. Anyway, when you look at this little lady, or little Elaine, you can probably see more if I raise up the lace, and I'll open up the jar in just a second. I don't know if you can tell behind her, but there is a waterfall that I molded out of resin. Inside the waterfall is also a face. The face was molded separately, and I glued those on. I'll see if I can get a little closer, and in just a second I'll open up the jar so you can see and maybe get a little bit better idea. Sorry about the clunk of the batteries there. So let me just open up this jar after I show you around a little bit, and that way maybe you can get a little idea more of what's on the inside. But for now, you can see the little crystal flowers. Little Elaine sitting on her moss rocks, and there's moss also underneath the moss rocks. There's large Prima flowers in it and on the bottom, and I hung a lot of fake greenery to keep Elaine happy so she wouldn't feel too far from her home. Inside, you can see these raspberries, which I bought at Joann's. However, they do fall apart, and so I topped them off with a lot of glossy accents to keep them safe on their trip so that they wouldn't be falling everywhere. The large flowers that you see inside are Prima flowers, and I'm not sure if you can really see, but underneath that waterfall that I molded, there is more water in the bottom, or, well, I guess not real water, but it's actually broken blue glass that I put on some glossy accents. You can see a little bit of a piece of, I guess, bronze in the bottom. That's actually a little bronze mermaid who's living in the water. So anyway, I'm really hoping that this little fairy makes it back to her home, to a nice, lush green Ireland, away from these horrible deserts in Idaho, and that she will be able to have her great, happy, blissful life back.